A mother put her child to sleep and then went to the kitchen. She then saw her son and he asked, "Can I have a glass of water?" The mother gave him a glass and he goes back upstairs. Minutes later, the boy returned asking for a glass again. The mother wondered what could make her child so thirsty, and when he came back down asking for another glass of water, the mother said, "That's your third glass tonight. What's wrong with you? Why are you so thirsty?" "Oh," said the little boy, "the water is not for me. The roof's on fire." Beautiful warm spring day and a man and his wife are at the zoo. She's wearing a cute, loose-fitting, sleeveless pink sprint dress with straps. As they walk through the ape exhibit and pass in front of a very large gorilla, the gorilla goes ape. He jumps up on the bars, holding on with one hand and 2 feet, grunting and pounding his chest with the free hand. He's obviously excited at the pretty lady in the wavy dress. The husband notices his excitement and suggests that his wife tease the poor fellow. The husband suggests she pucker her lips, wiggle her bottom, and play along. She does, and Mr. Gorilla gets even more excited, making noises that would wake the dead. Then the husband suggests that she let one of her straps fall. She does, and Mr. Gorilla is just about to tear the bars down. "Now try lifting your dress up your thighs," the husband says. This drives the gorilla absolutely crazy. Suddenly, the husband grabs his wife by the hair, rips open the door to the cage, slinks her in with the gorilla and says, "Now tell him you have a headache." There was a married couple who were in a terrible accident. The woman's face was burned severely. The doctor told the husband they couldn't graft any skin from her body because she was so skinny. The husband then donated some of his skin. However, the only place suitable to the doctor was from his buttocks. The husband requested that no one be told of this, because after all, this was a very delicate matter. After the surgery was completed, everyone was astonished at the woman's new beauty. She looked more beautiful than she ever did before. All her friends and relatives just raved about her youthful beauty. She was alone with her husband one day and she wanted to thank him for what he had done. "Dear, I just want to thank you for everything you did for me. There's no way I could ever repay you." He replied, "Oh, don't worry, honey. I get plenty of thanks every time your mother comes over and kisses you on your cheeks." A grad student, a postdoc, and a professor are walking through a city park and they find an antique oil lamp. They rub it and a genie comes out in a puff of smoke. The genie says, "I usually only grant 3 wishes, so I'll give each of you just one." Me first, says the grad student. "I want to be in the Bahamas driving a speedboat with a gorgeous woman who sunbathed topless." Poof, he's gone. Me next, says the postdoc. "I want to be in Hawaii relaxing on the beach with a professional hula dancer on one side and a Mai Tai on the other." Poof, he's gone. "You're next," the genie says to the professor. The professor says, "I want those guys back in the lab after lunch." When Ralph first noticed his penis was growing longer and stayed erect longer, he was delighted, as was his wife. After several weeks, his penis had grown to 20 inches. Ralph became quite concerned as he was having problems dressing and even walking. So he and his wife went to see a prominent urologist. After an initial examination, the doctor explained to the couple that, though rare, Ralph's condition could be fixed through corrective surgery. "How long will Ralph be on crutches?" the wife asked anxiously. "Crutches? Why would he need crutches?" responded the doctor. "Well," said Ralph's wife coldly, "you are going to lengthen his legs, aren't you?" a lady walked into a Lexus dealership just to browse. Suddenly, she spotted the most beautiful car that she had ever seen and walked over to inspect it. As she bent forward to feel the fine leather, an unexpected little fart escaped. Embarrassed, she anxiously looked around to see if anyone had noticed and hoped the salesperson wouldn't pop up. But as she turned back, there, standing next to her, was a salesman. With a pleasant smile, he greeted her. "Good day, madam. How may I help you?" Trying to maintain an air of sophistication and acting as though nothing had happened, she smiled back and asked, "Sir, what is the price of this lovely vehicle?" Still smiling pleasantly, he replied, "Madam, I'm very sorry to say that if you farted simply from touching it, you are going to shit when you hear the price." A man was sitting at a bar enjoying an after-work cocktail when an exceptionally gorgeous and sexy young woman entered. She was so striking that the man could not take his eyes away from her. The young woman noticed his overly attentive stare and walked directly towards him. Before he could offer his apologies for being so rude, the young woman said to him, "I'll do anything. Absolutely anything that you want to do with me, no matter how key, for $100 on one condition." Flabbergasted, the man asked what the condition was. The young woman replied, "You have to tell me what you want to do in just 3 words. The man considered her proposition for a moment, withdrew his wallet from his pocket, and slowly counted out 5 $20 bills, which he pressed into the young woman's hand. He looked into her eyes and slowly, meaningfully said, "Paint my house." Man meets a gorgeous woman in a bar. They talk, they connect, and they end up leaving together. They go back to her place. And as she shows him around her apartment, he notices that the bedroom is completely packed with teddy bears. Hundreds of small bears are on the low shelf, medium-sized one on the shelf a little higher, and huge bears are on the top shelf. The man is kinda surprised that this woman would have a collection of teddy bears, especially one that's so extensive, but he decides not to mention this to her. After a night of passion, as they are lying together in the afterglow, the man rolls over and asks, smiling, "Well, how was it?" The woman says, "You can have any price from the bottom shelf."